Welcome to Leader IS and Yashas tutorial from Navi Mumbai. Myself, Professor Suhas Sargar. Dear listeners, in this video, you all going to learn and listen State Board of Maharashtra, Standard 10, Subject Science and Technology Part 2, Chapter number 2, Life Process in Living Organism Part 1. So what you are going to learn? Living organism and life processes, some nutrients and the energy efficiency, living organism and energy production, cell division, a life's process. Can you recall how are the foodstuffs and their nutrients content useful for body? What is the importance of balanced diet for body? Which different functions are performed by muscle in body? What is the importance of digestive juices in digestive system? Which system is in action for removal of the waste material produced in human body? What is the role of circulatory system in energy production? How are the various processes occurring in human body controlled? In how many ways? So let's begin. The living organism and life processes. The various organs are continuously performing their function in human body, along with the various systems like digestive, respiratory, circulatory, excretory, and control system. The different external and internal organs are performing their functions independently, but through a complete coordination. This overall system is in action in more or less same way in all the organisms. Those are in need of continuous source of energy for this purpose. Carbohydrate, fats, and lipids are the main sources of the energy, and it is harvested by the mitochondria present in each cell. It is not like that only foodstuff is sufficient for energy production, but oxygen is also necessary. All these, that is foodstuff and the oxygen, are transported up to the cell via circulatory system. Besides, it is coordinated by the control system of the body. That is, each life process contributes in its own way in the process of energy production. Functioning of all these life processes also requires the energy. Humans and other animals consume the fruits and vegetables. Plants are autotrophs. They prepare their own food. They utilize some of the foodstuff for themselves, whereas the remaining is stored in various parts like fruits, leaves, stems, roots, etc. We consume all these various plant material, obtain the different nutrients like carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, etc. Which food material do we consume to obtain these nutrients? We obtain a carbohydrate from milk, fruit, jaggery, cane sugar, vegetable, potatoes, sweet meats, cereals like wheat, maize, ragi, jawar, millet, rice, etc. We get 4000 calorie energy per gram of carbohydrate. Let us study the way by which the energy is obtained. Many players are seen consuming some foodstuff during breaks of the game. Use your brain power. Why may be the players consuming these foodstuffs? What is the respiration? How does it occur? Dear listeners, we are from Leader IS and Yashas tutorial, Navi Mumbai, myself Professor Suhas Sargar. These are the self-explanatory book for the self-study of a student. Living organism and the energy production. Observe and label the diagram given beside. In living organism, respiration occurs at the two levels as body and cellular level. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged between body and surrounding in case of respiration occurring at a body level. In case of respiration at a cellular level, foodstuff are oxidized either with or without help of oxygen. Can you tell how many atoms of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are respectively present in the molecules of glucose? Which type of the chemical bonds are present between all these atoms? In terms of chemistry, what happens actually when a molecule is oxidized? Carbohydrates of the foods that we consume every day are mainly utilized for production of energy required for daily needs. This energy is obtained in the form of ATP. For this purpose, glucose type up the carbohydrate and oxidize step by step in the cell. This is called as a cellular respiration. Cellular respiration occurs among the living organism by two methods. Those two methods are aerobic respiration, oxygen is involved, and anaerobic respiration, oxygen is not involved. In aerobic respiration, glucose is oxidized in three steps. First, glycolysis. The process of glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm. The molecules of glucose is oxidized step by step in this process, and two molecules of each, that is pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2, and water are formed. Molecules of pyruvic acid are formed in this process are converted into molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. Two molecules of NADH2 and two molecules of carbon dioxide are released during this process. Second, tricarboxylic acid cycle. Both molecules of acetyl coenzyme A enter the mitochondria. The cyclic chain of reaction called tricarboxylic acid cycle is operated on in the mitochondria. Acetyl part of the acetyl coenzyme A is completely oxidized through this cyclical process, and molecules of carbon dioxide, water, NADH2, and FADH2 are derived. Third, electron transfer chain reaction. Molecules of NADH2 and FADH2 formed during all above processes participate in the electron transfer chain. Due to these, the three molecules of ATP are obtained from each NADH2 molecule and two molecules of ATP from each FADH2 molecules. See the pictures of mitochondria and tricarboxylic acid cycle. Besides the ATP, the water molecules are also formed in this reaction. Electron transfer chain reaction is operated in mitochondria only. Thus, a molecules of glucose is completely oxidized in aerobic respiration, and molecules of carbon dioxide and water are produced along with energy. Always remember, NADH2, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, FADH2, flavin adenine dinucleotide. Both enzymes are formed in the cells and used in the cellular respiration. C. The reactions of ATP energy currency. If there is an insufficient amount of carbohydrate in body due to exceptional condition like fasting and hunger, then the lipids and protein are used for the energy production. In case of lipids, they are converted into fatty acids everywhere, whereas the proteins into amino acid, fatty acids and amino acids are converted into acetyl coenzyme A, and energy is obtained through complete oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A by the process of Krebs cycle in mitochondria. Introduction to scientists. The process of glycolysis was discovered by three scientists, Gustav Embden, Otto Meyerhof, and Jacob Parnas, along with their colleagues. For this purpose, they performed the experiment on muscle. Hence, glycolysis is also called as Embden Meyerhof Parnas pathways, that is EMP pathway. The cyclic reaction of tricyclic carboxylic acid group were discovered by Sir Hans Krebs. Hence, the cyclical process is also called as a Krebs cycle. He has been awarded the Nobel Prize in 1953 for this discovery. The process of energy production through aerobic respiration of carbohydrate, protein and fat, see in the pictures. Also, anaerobic respiration in living organisms or cells, see it in the pictures. Some organisms cannot live in the presence of oxygen. Example, many bacteria, such living organisms, have to perform anaerobic respiration for energy production. Glycolysis and fermentation are the two steps of anaerobic respiration. Glucose is incompletely oxidized and less amount of energy is obtained in this type of respiration. Pyruvic acid produced through glycolysis is converted into other organic acid or alcohol with the help of some enzyme in this process. This is called as a fermentation. Some higher plants, animals, and aerobic microorganisms also perform anaerobic respiration instead of aerobic respiration if there is a depletion of oxygen level in the surroundings. Example: seed perform anaerobic respiration if the soil is submerged under water during germination. Similarly, our muscle cells are also perform anaerobic respiration while performing the exercise. Due to this, less amount of energy is produced in our body to lactic acid accumulates due to which we feel tired. Which type of the cellular respiration performs complete oxidation of glucose? Which cell organelles are necessary for complete oxidation of glucose? Can you tell? Next, energy from different food components. Excess of carbohydrate are stored in liver and muscle in the form of glycogen. What is the source of protein? What they are made up of? Protein are the macromolecules formed by bonding together many amino acid proteins of amino animal origin are called as a first class protein. We get 4000 calorie of energy per grams of protein. Amino acids are obtained after digestion of proteins. Those amino acids are absorbed in the body and transported up to each organ and the cell via blood. From these amino acids, organs and cell produce various proteins necessary for themselves and the whole body. Those examples are given in the following diagram. Always remember the proteins and the different amino acid obtained. In box, always remember excess of amino acid obtained from protein are not stored in the body. They are broken down and the ammonia form is eliminated out of the body. If necessary, excess of proteins are converted into other useful substances like glucose through the process of gluconeogenesis. The plant produces the necessary amino acid from minerals de novo and thereby produce the different protein. An enzyme rubisco present in the plant chloroplast is most abundant protein found in nature. From where do we obtain the lipids? The substances formed by a specific chemical bond between fatty acid and alcohol are called as lipids. Digestion of lipid consumed by us is nothing but their conversion into fatty acid and alcohol. Fatty acids are absorbed up and distributed everywhere within the body. From those fatty acids, the different cells produce various substances necessary to themselves. Example, the molecules called as a phospholipid, which are essential for producing plasma membrane, are formed from fatty acid. Besides, fatty acids are used for producing the hormones like progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, aldosterone, etc., and the covering around the axon of nerve cell. We get 9000 calories of energy per gram of lipids. Excess of the lipids are stored in adipose connective tissue in the body. Dear listeners, we are from Leader IS and Yashas Tutorial, Navi Mumbai, myself Professor Suhas Sargar. These are the self-explanatory book, very much helpful for the self-study of a student. Many times you cannot eat hot food due to inflammation or ulceration in mouth. Some person experience difficulty in the night vision since their childhood or the adolescence. Vitamins are a group of the heterogeneous compounds of which each is essential for proper operation of various processes in the body. There are the main six types of vitamin, example A, B, C, D, E, and K. Out of these, A, D, E, K are fat soluble, whereas the B and C are the water soluble. We have seen that FADH2 and NADH2 are produced in the processes like glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Vitamins like riboflavin, vitamin B2, and nicotinamide vitamin B2, respectively, are necessary for their production. Use your brain power. First, many times we experience a dryness in the mouth. Second, oral rehydration solution that is salt, sugar, water, is frequently given to person experiencing loose motion. We sweat during summer and the heavy exercise. There are about the 65 to 70% of water in our body. Each cell contains 70% water weight by weight. Blood plasma also contains 90% of water. Functioning of cells and thereby the whole body disturbed even if there is a little loss of water from the body. Hence, the water is an essential nutrient. Along with all above mentioned nutrients, the fibers are also essential nutrients. In fact, we cannot digest the fibers. However, they help in the digestion of other substances and the digestion of undigested substances. We obtain the fibers from leafy vegetable, fruit, cereals, etc. Inbox, internet is my friend. Collect the information. What are the symptoms of diseases like night blindness, rickets, beriberi, neuritis, pellagra, anemia, scurvy, etc. What do you mean by coenzyme? Find the full form of FAD, FNM, FNN, FMN, NAD, and NADP. How much quantity of each vitamins is produced every day? Next, cell division and essential life process. Can you tell few questions? First, what happens to the cell of injured tissue? Second, whatever whether the new cells are formed during healing of wound. Third, do the plants get injured? When do we pluck the flowers? How are those wounds healed? How does the growth of any living organism occur? Does the number of cells in their body increase? If yes, how? How the new individuals of a species are formed from existing one of same species? Cell division is one of the very important properties of cell and a living organism. Due to this property, only a new organism is formed from existing one. A multicellular organism grows up and emaciated body can be restored. There are the two types of cell division as a mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis occurs in a somatic cell and stem cells of the body, whereas the meiosis occurs in a germ cell. Before study of cell division, we should know the structural organization of the cell that we have studied earlier. Each cell has a nucleus. Besides, other cell organelles are also present. Let us study the cell division with the help of these information. Before any type of cell division, a cell double up. It's a chromosome. The number present in its nucleus. That is, if the chromosome number is 2n, it is double up to 4n. What is the shape of the chromosome? Give it a name in the figure. A pair of each type of the chromosome is present in 2n condition, whereas a single chromosome of each type is present in n condition, and their structure is like the one shown in figure given beside. Mitosis. The somatic cell and the stem cell divide by mitosis. Mitosis is completed through the two main steps. Those two steps are karyokinesis, nuclear division, and cytokinesis, that is cytoplasmic division. Karyokinesis is completed through four steps. First, a prophase. In a prophase, condensation of basically thin thread like chromosomes start. Due to this, they become short and thick and they start to appear along with their pairs of sister chromatids. Centrioles duplicates and each centriole moves to opposite poles of the cell. Nuclear membrane and nucleolus starts to disappear. Metaphase. Nuclear membrane completely disappears in metaphase. Chromosomes complete their condensation and become clearly visible along with their sister chromatids. All chromosomes are arranged parallel to equatorial plane, central plane of the cell. Special type of the flexible protein fibers means spindle fibers are formed between centromere of each chromosome and both centrioles. Anaphase. In anaphase, the centromeres split and thereby the sister chromatids of each chromosome separate and they are pulled apart in opposite direction with the help of the spindle fibers. Separated sister chromatids are called as a daughter chromosome. Chromosome being pulled appear like bundle of bananas. In this way, each set of chromosome reach at two opposite poles of the cell. See the picture of mitosis division. Next, D. We are from Leader IS and Yashas Tutorial, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Telophase. The chromosomes which have reached at opposite poles of the cell now start to decondense, due to which they again become thread-like, thin and invisible. Nuclear membrane is a form around each set of chromosomes rich at poles. Thus, the two daughter nuclei are formed in a cell. Nucleolus also appear in each daughter nucleus. Spindle fibers are completely disappears. In this way, karyokinesis completes and cytokinesis begins. The cytoplasm divides by cytokinesis and the two new cells are formed which are called as a daughter cell. In this process, a notch is formed at the equatorial plane of the cell which deepens gradually and thereby the two new cells are formed. However, in case of plant cell, instead of the notch, the cell plate is formed exactly along midline of the cell and thus the cytokinesis is completed. Mitosis is essential for the growth of the body. Besides, it is for the restoration of the emaciated body, wound healing, formation of the blood cell, etc. Meiosis. Meiosis part 1. Meiosis is completed through two stages. Those two stages are meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. In meiosis 1, recombination crossing over occur between homologous chromosomes and thereafter those homologous chromosomes, not sister chromatid, are divided into two groups and thus the two haploid cells are formed. See the picture of 2.9 meiosis part 2. Meiosis 2 is just like mitosis. In this stage, the two haploid daughter cells formed in meiosis 1 undergo the division by secretion of recombined sister chromatid and the four haploid daughter cells are formed. The process of gametic production and spore formation occurs by meiosis. In this type of the cell division, four haploid, that is daughter cells, are formed from one diploid 2N cell. During this cell division, the crossing over occurs between the homologous chromosome and thereby genetic recombination occurs. Due to this, all the four daughter cells are genetically different from parent cell and from each others too. Apparatus: conical flask, glass slide, cover slip, forceps, compound microscope, watch glass, etc. Materials required: a medium size onion and iodine solution, etc. Now, procedures. Take a medium sized onion, keep it in a conical flask filled with water in such a way that the roots of the onion will be contact with water. Observe the roots of the onion after 4-5 days. Cut the tips of same of the roots and put them in a watch glass. Pour some drops of iodine in watch glass. Take one of the root tips on a glass slide, press it, and with the help of the forceps, add 1-2 drops of the water and carefully place the cover slip. Cover it in such a way that the air will not be trapped between. Observe the prepared glass slide under the compound microscope. Which phase of the cell division did you observe? Sketch its a figure. Various phases of the cell division occurring in the root tips of onion are shown in the following figure. Which one of those could be seen in the slide? Use your brain power. What do you mean by diploid 2N cell? What do you mean by haploid N cell? What do you mean by homologous chromosome? Whether the gametes are diploid or haploid? Why? How are the haploid cell formed? What is the importance of the haploid cell, etc. The phases of mitosis in onion root tip. See it in the pictures. Use of ICT. Collect the videos and photographs of the different life processes in living organism. Prepare a presentation and present it on the occasion of the science exhibition. Books are my friend. Read different encyclopedias of technical terms in biology and anatomy and other reference books. That's all about this video. Friends, we are from Leader IS and Yashas Tutorial, Navi Mumbai. Myself, Professor Suhas Sargar. These are the self-explanatory video books for the self-study of the student. Thanks for listening.